Hello and welcome back to Mark's House and Garden UK. This is a Sego palm, Cycas Revoluta. This is also a Sego palm. It's exactly the same plant, but as you can see, one is looking healthy and the other is looking decidedly unhealthy. Now, about 2 months ago, I did a video on Sego palm rescue. So if you've come here looking for the update, this will be your update. But if you're new to my Sego palm rescue adventure, let me give you a bit of a backstory to what happened. I bought this plant almost exactly 12 months ago. It is a shadow of its former self. When I bought it, it was a beautiful specimen. I bought it from Nobridge. They know their plants and they know how to care for their plants. And when I received the plant, it was in wonderful condition, as you will see from this footage that I am dropping in. Now, I decided to plant it here in my gravel garden, but rather than plant it in the ground, I planted it in a big tub with extra drainage so that I could dig it up in the winter and take it inside. That's exactly what I did. In November, I lifted it. At that stage, it still looked very healthy. It obviously had a good time outside in the sunlight for the summertime. And it went indoors into the garage out of the frost and the cold, and it sat under a plant light in my garage for the winter time. So far, so good. However, in the spring I brought it out and almost immediately it started to go yellow, and it got worse and worse. There were a lot more leaves on it at that stage. I've since removed some leaves, or fronds, whatever you want to call them. In July, I wasn't sure what to do, so I asked you subscribers for advice, and you came back in your numbers to give me some wonderful advice, and I got a list of advice and I created a strategy, and the strategy really was to get it out of the pot and into the ground and leave it in the ground but protect it completely in the winter time. That is what I'm going to do. In the process of getting it out of the pot, I noticed that rootstock was infested by ants, so we cured that problem. I also noticed that there were lots of little bulbs, little baby ones of these, around the outside of the trunk. Now, they'd been underground in the soil in this pot, but some of them fell off as I was manipulating the plant. So I decided to remove 8 of them and plant them up. So I've had those under glass in my compound for a very sunny 2 months. This update, you're going to see the plant, the crown. We're going to uncover the roots or the trunk of this one to see if any of those little bulbs have grown. And we're also going to revisit the bulbs that I've had in my compound. I have got some very exciting news for you. But first things first, let's have a look at this plant first, and then we'll go and reveal what's happened with the bulbs. Right, so let's compare and contrast these two plants. Healthy, unhealthy, clearly dark green, looking good, pale yellow, and many of these fronds are dying back, as you can see here. So I don't think the planting it in or the feeding it has aided any recovery with these existing or pre-existing fronds. But I'm not worried about that, because if we can get this plant to produce a fresh flush of fronds down here, we will discard these anyway, and I think that's what tends to happen with these. If you look down here on the trunk, you can see they've been cut away anyway. So that's just par for the course. So we do need to protect this and get it to grow again. Now, if I feel that with my finger, it feels firm. It looks healthy. It's got a lovely colour to it. It's also very sharp. Let's have a look at the other one. And that feels exactly the same. It's not squidgy, it's firm, it's hard, it feels healthy. So I am encouraged that this could well burst into life. What I've been doing, by the way, is I've been soaking it, drenching it once every 2 weeks, giving it a good drenching, because someone told me that they produce a flush of new fronds in the monsoon season. So I was thinking, well, I could trigger that response by soaking it. It's looking good here, I have to say. So there we go. Now, let's get down on our hands and knees and scrape away some of this gravel and see if any of those little bulbs have started to show any signs of growth. Great being a YouTuber, isn't it? Right, let's just brush away here around the base and see what we can see in terms of whether any of these babies around the base are started to show any signs of growth. Bear with me while I do this. You will be rewarded in a moment when I show you what's happened in the compound. Right, so now then, here are those little growths. Now these were little bulbs, and there is no sign of any growth on these as yet. Now there's one there, there's one there. That one has a slightly different colour. I don't know if the camera can focus in, but that one has a slightly different colour. It looks a bit redder and a bit healthier than the other. It's almost like it wants to start growing. This one looks dark and tough. And there's another one here with no sign of any growth, and there is, for information, one on the other side. Right, so we will leave those in place. I might just leave them slightly more exposed so that light can get to them, because I know light can stimulate things. But we'll just leave that there for now. Now the exciting bit. Let's go and have a look in the compound. And those 8 bulbs are here under this piece of perspex, where they've been for 2 months, exactly 2 months. So let me do the big reveal on this tray. Right, number 1, no sign of growth. Number 2, no signs of growth. Number 3, no signs of growth. Number 4, potential signs of growth. Number 5, potential. Number 6, potential. Number 7, potential. Number 8, and there ought to be a fanfare, because look at that. I think we can agree that is growing. Now we haven't finished yet, because this would not be a Mark's House and Garden video if we didn't do a little bit of an experiment. We're going to look at the roots in a moment, but before we do that, let's just look at this. Look at those beautiful little fronds. They've even got the teeth, or the evidence of tiny leaves growing up the side there. I hope the camera's getting that. Let me see if I can get in a bit closer. That is the bulb. There is a frond, and up the side of that, about to expand. And this is called revoluta, because they expand, they revolve outwards. Well, look at that, and I can feel it's a sort of soft velvety fur up the side. Now that's the star of the show, obviously, but even here, in there, we have evidence of growth starting to emerge. I'm being very, very gentle. I don't want to do any damage. We have the same here, emerging from inside of that one. We definitely have growth on that one. Can you see that there? And we definitely have growth on that one. Just beneath the surface there is a small green tip emerging. Not sure about these 3. What we're going to do next is I'm going to take one of these out of the pots and look at the roots. But first, I'm going to take one of these out and see if there's any evidence of root growth. Because the root growth, obviously, I think would come first and would be preemptive of the top growth. Right, let's do that next. So which of these should we pick? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Now, I'm not sacrificing this plant. I'm just having a look. Any evidence on the base? Well, it does look to me that there are little growths here, but they may be seeds. So they may not be growth from the bulb. Let's ease it out. Quite a few roots, but also quite a few weeds. So I think those roots are definitely fibrous roots off these weeds. What's next? Well, no evidence of roots at all on there, and no evidence of any growth on there. But I am not going to give up on that plant. It's going back in here, and we will play the waiting game, and hopefully we'll get something from it. I ought to take those weeds away, but I do want to see whether one of the successful ones has got roots on it. because that will just answer a question in my mind, whether these are just growing from the carbohydrate which is in the bulb. Right, so let's take this one as its closest, and again I'm not going to sacrifice it. Oh, there's a slug that can go and be eaten by a thrush or a hedgehog. Now that's interesting, isn't it? Despite the fact that we have definite growth at the top, and there is definite growth there, you can see it, there is no root underneath. These are starting to grow using, no doubt, the food or the carbohydrate that is inside that bulb. And then, no doubt, it will eventually grow some roots. Isn't that wonderful? I wonder why that does that. I mean, does it fall off the plant and roll away down the hill and grow somewhere else? Is that a nature's adaptation? I don't know, so many questions. Why is that growing without roots? Well, that says that there's still hope for the other three. Let's get it put back into its damp but well-drained soil. Isn't gardening fun? Isn't it a wonderful adventure? I'm so excited by this. We know that they can be propagated from these bulbs. We also know that they don't put any roots down. They grow from the top first. Hope you've enjoyed that as much as I have, and I'll see you soon for some more Cycas Revoluta Sego palm adventures. Bye for now.